Ooh, what's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, Nestlemania alongside for the rise of a man that would never in a million years tear his Achilles and stop the show, JC.
Oh, if I tore my Achilles, I'd be crying like a little bitch, writhing in pain, and we would definitely most certainly stop the show.
I don't think so. I would keep working. It'd be fine.
I mean, it would be interesting how I would tear my Achilles sitting down. I mean, I do swivel a little bit sometimes, so maybe I like put a little too much weight, and because I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. So,
have we talked about on the program how you've in my company you were excited about a golf bet and potentially may have hurt yourself?
Yeah, I may have messed up my calf, but luckily our good friend the Backcracker gave me some nice little work on it and some kinesio tape, and he actually had to do that again about a month ago. Coming out of my issues there, I had a lot of muscle things and I fucked up my calf one day, and he fixed it again. So shout out Backcracker. He's also the calf cracker.
Also likes to rub you with buttermilk, as I hear. So that's fine.
Whatever he rubs me with, it works. So I don't ask the doctor questions. I just say yes
to the secret sauce. That's fine. I consent. Well, that's good that you send a paper that you consent. Anyway, on this program, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got the Backlash. We've got Raw, SmackDown, NXT if you want to get a little bit crazy. And, of course, we have to talk about Beach Break if we have to.
What now?
Beach Break's coming up.
I should know what that is.
I don't know.
Stupid AEW crap.
Yeah, it's fine. I might need some of that tape. June 2nd? I don't even want to know.
I know what June 2nd is. One of your favorite NXT wrestlers, OnlyFans, is launching on June 2nd.
Oh,
yes. So Bursky is I don't know how he's gonna pull his calf doing that, but that'd be all right. Well, actually, I don't even want to ask. But Nestlemania, we should probably get to Flashback, which I saw you tweet. Breaking news at Jobberknocker, aka Nestlemania. That's why the tweets are so shitty, FYI. Just if anybody wonders. He tweeted that Backlash was better than WrestleMania.
It was. I will stand on that. And I think historically, as a whole, the matches are better.
I don't disagree with that, but the show is definitely not better because WrestleMania is a show. Backlash is just kind of like, there was no, let's be honest. Backlash was solid wrestling. Like, I didn't not enjoy it, but there was no fucking hype for this event, really. There wasn't it just wasn't there. Probably because literally WrestleMania was a couple weeks ago and this thing happened quick. But Orton Reed in St. Louis was cool, but we knew he wasn't going to win. And the other matches, they're good. And Pentadom, we'll talk about it because I love that match. But it just it didn't have the heat. The wrestling, of course, in the ring delivered like we expect from Backlash. But I don't know if I can go out and say it's a better show.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, I like Joe's comment. Is that why they are? They're doing Beach Break in Michigan? Are you fucking kidding me? This fucking company.
Do you want them to only? You know what's funny?
No. If you're calling a show Beach Break, you need to be someplace that has a fucking beach, not a fucking lake beach. That's not a fucking beach. It's a lake beach. That's not a real beach. That's fucking lakefront.
This is where I'm going to show my age, but WCW used to do their spring break episode from Panama City, which was always a fucking cool thing. There's a great video of Kevin Nash just saying fuck it and jumping in the pool instead of getting thrown out by security and doing a cannonball. If they did Beach Break from Panama City every year, that would be fucking cool as hell, I think.
Yeah, they ain't paying for that though.
No, of course not. But they have an endless budget. They might as well.
Well, Shaw does have to sign some of the checks, and he might be like, Panama. What the fuck are you going to Panama? No, do it in
Panama. You don't even know who
I
even
know what that song is.
No, you don't.
I'm not. You're old, but yeah.
I'm not old.
You are.
Anyway, we should get into the program. I'm gonna go with Backlash first.
Flashback.
You didn't have this ready, I assume. So
the first match was Hoo Ha Fa Two.
My goodness.
Defended his championship because Corn on the Cob debut. Solo Sikoa had a plan Nestlemania. This match was fun, first of all. I mean, I knew it would be with all the amount of meat in this reign. That was a lot of meat. Drew and Priest, they have good chemistry, as we saw. LA Knight, he was there and took the pin because of Jeff Cobb. But the most important thing, obviously, we can talk about Jeff Cobb, but it's the fact that once again, Solo planned something and Jacob wasn't in on this. And I'm again loving the dissension.
Listen, we can talk about Jeff Cobb here. We can talk about Jeff Cobb later. I don't care.
There, everywhere.
Everywhere, Cobb, everywhere. Look, so this match was a lot of fun for me. I fucking just enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Like, there were a lot of callbacks between Drew getting screwed again and Priest doing certain things. And then they had the fucking kaboom of the week through the table. Like, that was fun. They seem like they're not done. And I'm okay with it because I feel like McIntyre has to wait anyway. So it is what it is. But it's okay. But I will say they did the best job in this match, those two. I think Jacob did Jacob things, obviously. But I thought the story of this was really Mac and Priest, and I thought they did a fantastic job in this match. So I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And at the end, we had what we had at the end. So we can talk about that more later on in my hope, I think. But, we can discuss it wherever you like, JC.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm not, look at Jeff Cobb's a meaty man. That excites me. But I'm a little worried about his character work, so it's probably good as a henchman. But we can discuss it more in your hope because Jeff Cobb and charisma, he did not get the C word in Cobb. He got the corn on the cob, not the charisma on the cob.
Are you saying he eats corn the long way?
No, I don't know if I'd say that because he'd probably beat me up if I said that to him.
He looks like a man that would beat you up, yeah.
Yeah. I'd say he could beat us both up and eat us for a snack.
Thanks for calling me a snack.
You're so fucking weird. Next up, we had a woman's banner for the Intercontinental title. Lyra beats Becky, and then Becky attacked her.
Yeah, it was basically like, she won. Who cares? Club in the back, and here we go. But I will say this match. I got a text from my boy, the Backcracker. You know, the guy that does your cast with the better milk and everything. So
the calf cracker.
The calf cracker. And so as he was talking to me, I didn't watch it live because I had to, watch my children. So I definitely got to it at some point. He just said, got to discuss Lyra's leg drop on the pod. And I went, okay, great. I did watch it. I had to look out for it because I was told by our boy Joseph to look for it. So I will say sky high, good impact, way better than Becky Hogan's. I think it's fantastic. I thought the match was great. I love that she lost and snapped. That was fun.
Did you like that they showed her fucking goofy husband?
I did. I thought that was hysterical. And literally, so I sent a text to Joe, the Backcracker, when he gives me so much shit about looking like Billie Jean King. And I was like, okay, you're going to call me Billie Jean King. I want to know what you're going to call this guy then. Because this guy was like...
lucky SOB.
Like, and I mean, good for him if he's happy, and obviously he should be, and hold on for dear life. But
that's how you know it's true love.
Right. Because, I mean, average, right? Mid. But that's okay. He's probably a wonderful human being, and that's great. Good for them.
He's a great light. Maybe he makes those wings fucking go caca.
If you're making that kind of noise, okay.
I mean, look, listen, you're talking about the leg drop. The woman can fucking fly, so of course she can do a good leg drop. It's graceful. A good leg drop. She has goddamn wings. She's angelic, Nestlemania.
She has Red Bull before the match.
The Becky Plump.
The Becky Plump. That's what we're gonna call it from now on.
We're gonna call it the leg plunge for Becky.
The leg plunge.
Yeah,
that's a plump. Plump just sounds more fun to say. When you say the leg plump,
just plumping her way right.
Plumping her right. Yeah, plump.
Yep.
Plump. Guys like what? Baby, move your butt. Anyway, I don't know why I'm singing so many songs tonight, but I will say this: there's one thing I didn't like about this match.
Becky Lynch.
No, not her. I thought they did a great job, two of them. I'm gonna give her flowers. She did a great job. I thought the ending was dog shit. Like,
yeah, but I get why they did.
No, but here's the thing. Here's from a logical standpoint. This is where I know I get on my soapbox about logic and wrestling, and those two don't meet necessarily. But it was weird. It was like thumb in the eye. Things happen. Yada yada yada. She goes for the fucking pin. and Becky's like doing this with her legs, and then Lyra's got her with one arm while she's doing this with two legs. She's got one arm free, and she's like looking at her eye like, oh my God, you're meaning to tell me that you can hold on to Becky with one eye. I was just like, what the fuck are we doing here? It looks so fun. In that moment, she needed to grab onto both legs and just do this with squinty eyes. That's all you had to do. But the fact she had one hand open, she made her look like she could do it with one arm. I just thought it was stupid. Fucking stupid. With
eyes wide open.
There you go. This is like fucking music bingo. We should try this more often and see who wins. No, but I just thought it was fucking stupid to me. But again, it's a small thing. Clearly got my ass chapped, but
the small things.
But it really,
I could do this all day. So
I know. Hey, sometimes mids can hit it big. Thanks.
It's true. And hey, shout out to that guy. He's probably the man. But it's just kind of funny because everyone in the world who didn't know that he existed before had the same reaction we did when we discovered the same thing. But good for him. Good for Lyra. Glad they're happy. Next up, match of the night. In my opinion, I love this match. Dirty Dom versus Penta. I mean, I love when you get the style clash of like a more like true luchador versus Dom, who like plays the luchador. It just, for some reason, the matches are always so entertaining for me. And obviously Dom's just so good at selling because he's such a good heel. But I thought this match was a ton of fun. I kind of love the stuff still going on here with Finn, who you like looking at, you're like, man, it seems like he's trying to screw him. But of course, our boy from the Gulf of America, El Grande Americano, to the rescue. So Dirty Dom retains. But yeah, I thought this match was a blast.
I thought I think our boy Danny said this in the chat, but I thought it rings true here because I wrote it down as well. I'm so tired of a suicide dive, but seeing a suicide dive into a DDT doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
doesn't hurt at all. And it's funny because
it's different.
Yes, make it different then. And the crowd loves Dom, which I was surprised considering how well everybody loved Penta going into this matchup. And then watching the crowd actually get behind Dom, I was like, I think there's no denying someone's been so hateable for so long. Eventually you just have that respect for them. And it's like, okay, the guy, and you can tell that Dom's been working on the in-ring stuff too. He's always had the promo because it's just like, he doesn't have to try because they legitimately don't want him to talk. But the in-ring stuff has gotten better for sure. And I mean, through osmosis, even if he was 1/16th as good as Rey Mysterio, that's still probably top, 500 people in the world. So, I mean, I think he can do it.
Yeah, and I mean, the biggest thing I always said with him is like we saw him before he ever should have been on TV just because of who he was. So we are literally get to see his development, and it's more extreme when you see someone who's not really like ready and you watch them develop like in real time. And we've seen it, and we've seen him grow. I mean, he started so young and so inexperienced, but you just knew like this kid has a knack for this. And the second they turned it heel, we were like, oh shit, he really has a knack for this. So this delivered big time. I'm about to cough. Just thought I'd warn you there.
We don't have a cough button. Sorry.
Yeah, we do. Well, actually, I could just hit mute, but it would have been weird if I just stopped talking. But next up, Nestlemania, we had Gunther versus Pat McAfee, and they had an actual match in Nestlemania.
That bothered me at the beginning, I'll be honest, because all I kept thinking about was all this back and forth, and I just went, why the fuck are they wrestling? Eventually, it didn't matter because the back half of that match was fantastic and dramatic and just a lot of fun. But the beginning of it was like, God damn it, why? Like, why wasn't it just like bell rings, fucking let's go? Like to me, and I'm not saying like speed it up, let's go. I'm just saying I don't want to see Pat McAfee wrestle. That's not what he does. I want to see Pat McAfee do goofy shit and like just fucking be Pat McAfee. Watching him jump over the top rope and trip, I was just like, this is why we don't do these things, folks. Don't do them if you don't do them well. So that's all.
Well, you must have really hated when Gunther showed him respect after the match then.
I did not like that at all either. Because it was just like Michael Cole went out of his way in this match. So for him to be like, okay, like now I respect you. It's like, are you turning him babyface? Are you going to turn Gunther
No, clearly not. If you watch Monday, that was my biggest issue with this is because I saw a lot of people really like this match. That's why I was curious what your take on it would be. But I was kind of bothered that I'm like, they're actually like having a match. Like what? Yeah. Like
right.
It's I was one of those things where it's like it either has to be a squash or there has to be some nonsense. And it's like, no, they had an actual match. And then after the match, Gunther showed him respect, which like I didn't love. It doesn't bother me as probably as much as it bothers you. But I was just like, what did we accomplish here? Especially because when we go right back to Monday, he's like, "Oh, Jey Uso, you're stupid. You shouldn't be champion. I'm champion." Blah 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 blah. It's like, well, what did this accomplish? Like, you could have had Gunther get his stuff back, like in any way, but instead you had to have him have a lengthier match with an announcer, former punter, football player, and then he showed him it's just like it's very weird where like he wouldn't show Jey Uso, who beat him for a championship with his own move, and a guy who's earned it respect, but he'll show it to this announcer punter for being in the ring with him for like 8 minutes. I don't know. It was very odd to me, and it just was probably to me like. Because I think it was bad. No, I think they actually did a decent job from what I expected, but it just like I thought the whole booking of it was very odd.
I think it's odd to me that he lasted 14 minutes.
That's how long it was, Jesus.
That's how long it was. And that felt long.
I said 8, trying to be generous.
No, but I mean, 14 is an incredibly long period. And I don't think it did anything for Gunther. Like, that's the thing I'm looking at. Like, hell, it did a hell of a lot for Pat, but it didn't do a lot for Gunther, which maybe that's what it was designed for. I don't know. But I
feel like this is just a way to get Gunther like his stuff back, but it's just like I left it with him feeling like less of a heel, like you said, which is like the whole point is wouldn't you want him to feel like that's why to me it was very odd booking. I don't fault the two individuals in the ring because like I said, I thought it very much exceeded what I would have expected if you told me these two were going to wrestle for 14 minutes. But the booking of it didn't make much sense to me.
Just having Michael Cole involved, I get it. But it just
felt like over the top, though. It's like, Michael, shut the fuck up. We get it. You were disrespected. Cry me a fucking river, bro.
I think the problem for me is that, like, ever since Michael Cole has come out and said, I'm a fake announcer on Pat McAfee's show, I was just like, when I see him do stuff like this or oversell, like, used cars salesman kind of shit that he does, I'm just like, this is, like, he's still great, but it's just, like, it reminds me every once in a while that I'm watching something that's predetermined, and I want to lose myself in that, but when you do stuff like this, you make me feel like I'm not enjoying it. And when you remind me that I'm watching something instead of enjoying it, you take me out of it. And I just feel like sometimes Michael Cole and especially Pat McAfee, the two of them together, they are a pill sometimes for me, specifically as a fan. But they're fantastic together. It's just every once in a while I'm just reminded, hey, make believe, and I just hate feeling like that as a fan.
Yeah, not that, like I've said before, that doesn't bother me as much because I know what I'm watching, but I understand the frustration.
And finally, St. Louis brought it with the singing of Randy Orton's theme song.
You can find me in St. Louis where the gunplay rain all day. Da da da. You know who sings that, Nestlemania?
I'm gonna guess Nelly.
Yeah, good boy. Wow.
Well, you said St. Louis, so that's the only St. Louis rapper I know. So,
and he has a song called.
You know what? I'm just going to tell you, I sing at least Heart of a Champion at least once of a day because of you.
I know where they can stop me now.
And especially starting next year, it has to come back, right? You would think. Because NBC on
we got the NBC song back, baby.
That's NBA the NBC song, right? So, I mean, they sampled it, so I'm excited. And Michael Jordan on my TV don't hurt either. But anyway, speaking of the greats, John Cena, Randy Orton, I thought this had a lot of gaga and a lot of whoa, 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 a lot of RKOs with a lot of producers and a lot of piercing RKOs and just a lot of things happening here. And then they slide in Truth there, which was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And then Cena wins, gets booed. I thought there was a nice little nugget here at the end where he didn't need the music. He just said, hey, St. Louis, this is what a real last champion looks like. Gets done. Then he's got the belt and they're chanting, thank you, Cena. And you can see in his face, this is the part. John Cena is a terrible actor. Like, I'll just come out and say it. John Cena is got one gear in my opinion, maybe 2 gears in terms of acting.
He's got like 2 gears, yeah.
He's got 2 gears acting wise.
Goofy serious and goofy.
Right. And then
he's great at both.
But he's so lovable. And then so as I watched him and I was like, oh, look at this. He's actually like seeing some complacent feeling of like, fuck, did I make a mistake? These people still love me. Like, obviously that's not like, that's the internal struggle he's going to go with for the rest of this whole thing, which I really adore. But I just thought, what a nice little nugget there, because at least it was like, because the crowd's still going to say thank you to him every time.
Yeah, they should.
And it's fascinating.
See, that's the part that I didn't love as much. I will say that in terms of the match, it over-delivered from my expectations. Right. My expectations were very low. Thank you, Cena, for setting that at WrestleMania. Maybe he did that on purpose. So then we'd like go on this thing and be like, wow, he's getting better. Nope, he was just really bad. But
I have a thought on that too.
Yeah, but even like I said, I'm like, Randy Orton will be a different type of match, and it was. But yeah, this to me, like it was just kind of the whole weird vibe for me with Backlash, where it's just like, But I mean, if you're telling me I get to watch Randy Orton RKO like 15 people in a row, like, I mean, that sells me a ticket right there. So, I enjoyed that. So that was great. And yeah, I did enjoy the Cena promo, but there's some things that I have, like, I know, like, it's one of those things, the show never ends. And there's a lot of good things that come out of the stuff that comes like after the broadcast goes off. This one to me is just like, I still feel like we're still trying to come to grips with the Cena thing. I just thought personally it's a little too early in the process to have to start doing this. I don't think it might just be a me thing, but it's just like, I don't know, and that's my biggest issue with Cena right now is it's just like, I haven't been able to buy in, and now you're already doing this. It's like, now you just got me like in my head, like hands in the air. Like, I just don't care.
I will say though, it was really odd to me that R-Truth got slid in and then in the press conference got through a table, which I get. And I'm just like,
they were always doing that match, and it's probably smart that they're probably going to do it at
Saturday. Throw it away. Yeah, that was my thought. Was like, I'm just surprised that the match is happening. But the one thing I've noticed, and this is going to be two things here for you as a Cody person, but also just as a person to taper your expectations going forward, JC. What I've realized is that Cody and Cena have no chemistry in the ring. That's number one.
Well, that's because they're like the same character. It's just Cena's now being a heel for the first time in over 20 years.
But what I'm saying is, I don't, as good as Cody is, and I'm saying this right here, Cody Rhodes as a babyface against a heel John Cena is just not the right recipe. Now listen to this. A babyface John Cena and a heel Cody Rhodes, that's a recipe that I would want to see.
I agree, but we're never going to see that.
We're never going to see that. So this is the problem we're going to run into. And secondly, this was a telltale sign to be on Saturday night when this happened. I went, okay, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, now R-Truth. And I went, they are going to put him up against people who don't got to do shit for him. Like he doesn't got to do shit either. And so it's like, Randy didn't have to do anything but Randy shit, and it worked. R-Truth is going to do fucking R-Truth stuff, and it's going to fucking work. It's not going to main event. It's not going to have any fucking feeling of stakes or like, oh my God, something's in peril. It's just going to be a one-off thing. And I feel like this is where we're headed. We're headed to these things where it's like, who is on the roster that can keep John safe, keep him going, and have a quiet match? It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. But going forward, I think you got to taper your expectations for John Cena, because I think it really is going to be these things where it's just like people who will keep him safe, have an all right match. We'll do a lot of garnish, and that's it. And we'll get to Boston in December, and that'll be it. He'll turn babyface at the end, and everything will work out.
I have no expectations for his in-ring. I mean, like, the one I'm most excited for is him and Punk, and I know that match cannot be good. Like, it just physically cannot be good because they're both old. But it's one of those, like, that's the one I'm most excited for. Cena Miz, that's a good one, Joe. Like, that screams like another like random like one-off they do. Maybe as Cena starts to turn, you run that back, and Cena gets his win back over the Miz. So that makes sense to me.
They're gonna keep him with bubble wrap. That's what it's gonna be for the rest of his.
Johnny Bubble Wrap.
Johnny Bubble Wrap. Johnny Bubble Wrap. I will give anybody $1 if they know where that came from. The Johnny song, because I changed Bubble Wrap to another song. So. Anyway, overall, I enjoyed Backlash. I thought it was a lot of fun. Like you said, not a lot of stakes, not a lot of. You said you were fatigued, perhaps, from WrestleMania.
Yeah, I have a little of the post WrestleMania fatigue, which I think a lot of people get every year. I haven't really had the last couple of years, but this is the first year I've had it, and part of it might just be like it didn't feel like they had like the stories coming out of WrestleMania that got my guns going, because on Raw it's the Seth thing, which I'm still trying to buy into, and then Cena as champion, which I'm still trying to buy into. And I mean, I've obviously always enjoyed the mid-card stuff, and there's some good stuff for sure that I enjoyed, like Becky Lyra, but I definitely feel a little bit of the fatigue because this came pretty quick after WrestleMania, so I just think I need a little time to be reinvigorated here. So
all right, let's get into the big part of the show here, the shine, Joshua. You can do all your business here.
Always in the shine, Nestlemania, and I got 2 matches and a promo for you. That's it for my shine this week. Match number 1, we go to SmackDown. This was an easy one. Fraxium upsets the Street Profits in an absolute fucking banger. If you have not seen this match, you need to go watch this match, and we're going to get it again, but I enjoyed this. This was like This was why Fraxium is like just brings matches to a different level, because they are AEW wrestlers who are in control, for an easy way to describe it to you. Like it's like the really fun stuff you get in AEW without all the fucking like botches, because they're actually trained. And they have a performance center. Sorry, Joe. But yeah, this match was awesome. You should watch it. And the Profits are great. And it was great to see them wrestle a tag team that is equally as great as them again.
I think they're on the wrong show. Because I feel like
getting a draft eventually.
No, I know.
They might beat them. They might beat them. They just seem to have the rocket ship right now.
They got the strap for sure. Rocket there. But look, I will say, I think they need to be more character driven, because they're in the ring. They could do whatever the hell they want. And I'm fairly certain everybody's going to love it. But I think on Raw, where it's more character driven, then it'll work. Excuse me. Very tired. But yeah, I put hell of a fucking match here. I did chuckle when they were like, we put on the best TLC match ever. And I'm like, here we are with wrestling again. Saying fucking just, okay. All right, whatever. I did not expect him to beat the Profits. So that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. Because I think it's, especially because, I mean, you know how long it took us to buy Nefraxium. It's like we wanted to hate them because we hate the fucking mathematician. I hate that guy wears a mask. I really enjoy Frazier. I like the dynamic of them always feel like they're going to break up because they're trying to one up each other. But it was just like they're a hard team to buy into. So if it's hard to do that on the NXT level, you know, when you jump a team like this to the main roster, it's even harder. So I think by immediately legitimizing, just be like, look, these guys are awesome in the ring, and we're going to show you because they're literally going to beat the champions, like on their second fucking night or whatever it was. And we're going to stamp them and be like, these guys are for real. You're going to watch them in the ring, and you're not going to care that one of them's a fucking mathematician and the other one is a cooler, more fun version of Seth Rollins.
Well, apparently Frazier was in AEW, if you ask the Joe Stopper. So
He was. I think at the very, very beginning.
Was it during COVID? Perhaps, I don't know.
I think it was at the very beginning, because I did know that. I can't say I remember him exactly, but I know he was there. That is a real thing.
Every time I look at Nathan Frazier's face, he looks like a mini Duke Hudson with blonde hair. There's something about his face
that pings around the ring.
Yeah. It's tough.
But anyway, Nathan Frazier, I always have. There's been something about it. Maybe it's just because his theme song is an absolute fucking banger, and it just made me like him. But he has like the same, like, you can tell he was trained by Seth Rollins, because he has that bit of arrogance in Seth that I like as well. But it's just like there's something extra with him too. Like I don't know. His mannerisms, it's like this kid has something that, like, you can't. I don't know. It just works. And the other guy, it's just hard to tell because wears a. I don't know. I'm never going to be able to buy an Axiom, because it's just like I don't think he needs the mask. I think I know you could just have him be A Kid. You can change his name if you want, but like whatever. I
don't think there's a future for A Kid after this tag team splits up. I'll be honest. I'm nervous about that.
Well, I mean, they can just sell him as a luchador with how much they're pushing AAA. So, and he's very good in the ring, so they can easily put him in a Tozawa role or something. Like it just like he's that type of guy where I think they can always find a use for him. And I think he's kind of learned the comedy bit here working with Frazier. I think it's helped him immensely, because I don't think this kid is capable of this before this tag team.
Okay.
In terms of like the character work.
Continue on the shine there, Jay.
My other match that I like this week, we go to Raw. And I mean, this one's pretty easy, Nestlemania. It's a Penta match. It's a Chad Gable match. They wrestled. Penta beat him. It's good wrestling. And it was on TV, and I enjoyed it.
Okay. And then finally,
in my promo segment, and I'm going to say this, and you're going to have to listen. What I loved about Becky Lynch's promo, the reason why I love this and why this is going to shine, is she is embracing everything you have wanted Charlotte to embrace forever about just burying talent and making them look stupid. Becky's like, oh, Charlotte, you don't want to be this person? You don't want to do it, even though you do it? You don't want to embrace it? The man's going to embrace it. And I'm just like, I can get on board with this, because her annoying me will be effective, even more effective, because she's a fucking heel, but she's embracing it and going even more over the top and making it more. So I was just like, you know what? Even Nestle probably had to appreciate it, because she is just embracing what Charlotte will never embrace. And that's what you got to do sometimes.
I do appreciate it. There's a little bit of Hogan in her too. Like it is what it is. And it's like, you say what I am, I'm going to be it then. And I appreciate it. It felt similar to John Cena in a way, but I felt like it, honestly,
he did it better.
She did it better. She did. Absolutely. She did it way better than Cena. And I don't necessarily understand how this is going to play out, but it's very interesting because the man has been kind of tiring. And so when she does this, I'm like, okay, a new color.
A small evolution.
Yeah,
a small one. But
paint with new colors, and I'm fine with it. Like, give me something new to snack on, and that's fine. I'll see where it goes. I will. And I think Lyra will fight from the bottom, working her way back up. Again, I think that's going to help her too.
Yeah, like we said the last few weeks, this feud is the best thing for Lyra because it's bringing stuff out of her that she hasn't shown yet and that she needs to show. So,
all right.
I don't have any more shine. Do you?
Oh, good.
It was very thin for me this week.
Thin. Well, let me make sure here. I could talk about a lot of different things that I enjoyed. I'll just go to SmackDown. Just a couple things really quickly that I want to say. There was an Aleister Black promo where he said, I buried the guy deep and I'm not that guy anymore. And I'm not good. I'm not evil. I'm just kind of justice. And I was like, that's kind of interesting to me because it was just like, it fits his character. So I really enjoyed that promo, and it's better than
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. Roman Reigns promo.
Yeah, I know, right? No. But like, I think for him,
I know what you mean.
For him, it kind of works though. Cause it makes kind of sense for him. Which
he's a neutral ass kicking entity. It works for a character like Aleister Black. He just kicks people in the head, like the Hurt Business. They hurt people.
We hurt people. I did laugh at the John Cena getting a bottle thrown at him. That made me.
That was a nice touch.
That was a nice touch, even though the guy
I maintain it was a plant, but who knows? Maybe it wasn't.
But the video shows that it's supposedly not a plant, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is.
You know what a plant is? It's supposed to not look like a plant. So
that's true.
Little too convenient.
Let's see. I don't want to step on your toes on a lot of different things, so I'll just.
If you have shine, you bring it up in the shine, and if I don't like it, I'll tell you I don't like it. That's how it works, bro.
All right. Well, just chill for a second.
Yeah.
I thought AJ and Finn had a great little fun match there.
That was fine. I will say the one note I had on this is for an AJ Finn match. Granted, it was in the middle of the card. That crowd was fucking dead for like the first 8 minutes of it. And I was just like, do these motherfuckers know that it's AJ Styles and Finn Balor and you are seeing a masterpiece right now? Obviously, it picked up once the shenanigans started and everything, and like the spots picked up. But I was like, this is. I'm mad at you wherever you are on Raw. I don't remember what town they're in, but it's like, how are you sitting on your hands and just dead silent for AJ and Finn wrestling? That's travesty in my book. That was my only real note on that match. The match was good though, and I enjoyed the shenanigans.
Okay, then we just get to the heat then. Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Now I could go into a lot of different things here. I don't really know if there's anything on SmackDown that really even matters at this point because it's kind of after the pay-per-view. We kind of feel this whole, we don't talk about it most of the time. I don't know how you feel about this, JC. So I am curious how you're going to respond to this. I understand that they're building the show for the first time around Seth Rollins on Raw, which I appreciate it being Rollins and Heyman and Breaker. And then it's, Punk tries to come out and does his whole spiel, and then it has to come to blows. And then now Sammy and Jay are with him. And then Sammy gets attacked at some point. Sorry, Jay gets attacked at some point. And then Sammy and CM Punk have that thing backstage where like, I don't know if we like each other, but we got to survive to get our own goals. It just feels like, I don't know, they're just laying it on a little too thick for me. And I would like a little less because I feel like there's a hell of a lot going on. And I know it's a 2.5 hour program and we need a lot to fill here, but like you have a lot of talent. So I'd like to see a couple more matches, maybe a match or two more that mean something here. And I just felt like we're supposedly getting CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Breaker and Rollins at Saturday night's main event, which apparently is it soon? It's like the end of the month or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's in 2 weeks. Not this Saturday. I think it's the Saturday after that.
Okay. So, I mean, it's there. It's exciting for them, I guess. But I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens, but I feel like the real money match is Breaker, Rollins, Punk, and Sammy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or sorry, Reigns and Punk versus Breaker and Rollins. Excuse me. Super tired.
Yeah, I know. Definitely. This is part of the problem I have this with too. And it's always the issue you have when you are starting these factions, because it's always going to be like you have a cohesive unit that is forming against like a hodgepodge. Like it's like, and they're showing it, which I like. They're showing that Punk and Sammy don't trust each other, but it's one of those like, it makes the match harder for me to buy. Plus, it's a random tag team where what are the true stakes of it? You know what I mean? So and that's always the issue when you have like these new factions and they're not going for titles yet. It's just like, it's very Survivor Series-y, which during Survivor Series season works, but that's just part of the issue I have with this is just like, yeah, and you're right. It's like the random hodgepodge I want to see is Punk and Reigns because that's the fascinating thing. And like poor Sammy here is just doing what he always has to do. He's a stopgap guy. He's been that his whole career and he does great at it, but it's one of those, like, we know what's going to be accomplished here. We know that this is Seth and Braun going over, and maybe it's them getting a third man helping them do it. But yeah, to me, it's just like it's a lot of it on Raw, and it's not, I don't know. It hasn't got me yet.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm trying to see anything else on Raw specifically that I got to talk about here, but there's one more thing that I'm not hugely impressed by, so you're gonna hate me for this. I really love that the women got the main event here on Raw. I thought it was really nice. I wasn't super excited for it. I was excited for them to get it, and they had a great match and everything. But as I was watching this matchup, I went, okay, I'm really happy for Io because she's finally got the crowd behind her. So they're finally recognizing, like, when she does the head thing and like, oh, point at my head, I'm doing crazy taunts and love me. That works. Everybody seems to be doing it now. And they're appreciating Io for what she is. Rhea's obviously perma over, which is never going to die, which is great for her. I really enjoyed watching Roxy. And then as I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not impressed with Julia, like in the ring right now. And I don't know if she was an outlier. Like, I don't know what it is. I just felt like she was a half a step behind the other three. And I know I'm going to eat those words at some point, but right now, I'm not impressed with her.
Well, I will say the other three in the ring are obviously three of the best in the business right now. So, and Julia, like, she isn't like new to wrestling, but she's new to the WWE and that type of stuff. Because it's a different type of game. Like, Roxy's been in NXT for what? Almost 3 years?
Yeah.
So, and she obviously is because she started so young and she always could wrestle, but it was more about like, we got to get her character up. Julia was in NXT for like a second, won the title immediately. And obviously they did it as a babyface. She's more of a natural heel, but we haven't really got to see it because they just flipped it a couple weeks ago when they called her up. So it's just like she hasn't had the adjustment period. And I think that type of stuff translates to the in-ring work because I think Julia, I don't think there's any issue with her wrestling, but I think I know why it looks a little weird, especially compared to these other three, is because I don't think she's comfortable in the skin yet, which is fair. But it's just like that's why NXT exists and stuff. So, but I mean, this to me, the reason why I didn't have in the shine is just another hodgepodge and random. And I also don't love the two girls you're calling up as like the heel and that are actual like acting as a team keep losing to the hodgepodge of people just to set up so these two can actually wrestle again. I don't like that.
Who did Julia beat for the NXT Women's Championship?
It was Roxanne.
Right. Isn't that weird that they're a tag team?
It is. They literally just like the other weird part is they combine their forces because they both lost to Stephanie, yet they're feuding with Rhea and Io. So none of it makes any sense.
It's just hard. It's hard for me to, and again, maybe we're asking too much because we want the synergy or there's a connection from NXT to carry over to Raw or SmackDown. Maybe that's not, obviously when it was under the Vince McMahon regime, it didn't matter. They just reset the person when they came up. But we were hoping with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, there'd be a little bit more synergy here and a little more like connective tissue in terms of the character development. But I'm watching this and I was watching Julia and I just felt like, man, I know what she's capable of, but I'm just underwhelmed by her. I don't know. Like I'm hopeful that over time it'll be fine, but right now she's not doing anything for me. Not one thing.
I disagree with that because I mean, I really like her new look. I think she looks more of a badass and I enjoy her just period, but I don't want to call it premature because I always knew her stint NXT was going to be short. I don't like that this is how they're doing it. It's weird to me. And I know why they think they're doing it with Roxy because Roxy can kind of carry her in the character work and promos to help with the transition. But it's one of those, like, I feel like with the woman, this is always a storyline they get is they're always heels and they always come up and they're always attacking people and we always get random tag match. It's I don't want to say lazy, but it's a little lazy and it's not working yet. And it's just also Roxy's been this unbeatable force and now she's like literally lost every match. She wrestles on every show like every week and she's just taking nonstop L's because she's so good. But it's like, I don't know. I'm not loving the way any of this is being booked at all.
Fair enough. That's all I really have to say, I guess. But do you have any heat? I'm just curious.
I had the same stuff about Raw. Your girl Nia is the #1 contender, but I said last week how I'm not excited for another Nia Tiffy match, and now it's official.
Probably a Saturday night's main event anyway, so don't worry about it.
I would think so, yeah, because I want Tiffy Naomi. Like that's
Naomi's the one that's gonna win.
She might, but I could see him do a triple threat with Jade too, and who knows if Bianca returns and comes back. There's a lot of things they can do. I just pretty much want to get past the Nia part because that's when we get to the Naomi, Bianca, and Jade part, and that's where they meet on the bonus. For me.
You know what's gonna end up happening here? At Money in the Bank, it's gonna be Tiffy versus Jade versus Charlotte.
I forgot about Charlotte. She came back too.
And so those two are gonna bitch and moan. Jade can win the championship for a hot second, and Naomi will win the Money in the Bank and cash in on Jade.
That's very easy. Yeah,
that's a slam dunk right there.
Yep,
and it'll fucking be perfect.
Or even better, because we might be past Jade now, but then Bianca wins Money in the Bank and cashes in on Jade immediately.
Have you seen her?
Comes out to celebrate with her, and Bianca cashes on Jade. I might like that better.
Did you see Bianca's finger?
Yeah.
It's fucking gross, right?
Yeah, that's not great.
It's fucking gross.
That's not great.
Not great, Bob. So where are we? We're over with the Heat, so we want to give her hope.
Glorious.
You're my only hope. So here's what I'm thinking, folks. As we got about the, Jeff Corn on the cob here, it makes sense that he's part of the bloodline. And here's why. Obviously, you've seen Jacob Fatu for a very long time. You've been impressed. You want him to break out. It's inevitable that Jacob Fatu is going to be world champion. It's inevitable that he's going to have to deal with beating up with Solo. However, Jeff Cobb is exactly what they need him to be. This is what Jacob Fatu should have been. But Jacob Fatu
just got too over.
Jacob Fatu is too over.
Yeah.
And if Jeff Cobb had gotten there before, here's my thought. If Jeff Cobb had gotten there before Jacob Fatu, Solo would have been in the world championship picture. Like, he would have been maybe world champion. Because the thought of having the Tongans, Solo, and Jeff Cobb is so underwhelming, and there's no likable people in there, that it would have stuck as the new bloodline. But Jacob Fatu is so fucking over that now you're just like, okay, we got to bump him from the fucking bloodline 2.0, and we need to have a suitable replacement. While Jacob Fatu needed somebody that could beat him up, Jeff Cobb's going to beat him up. And that's my hope here, is that we get him out of there, we get him going, because Jeff Cobb is not a strong promo. Jeff Cobb is a destructive force. And guess what? Solo is a pretty good promo. So I think Solo, speaking for Jeff Cobb here, is going to help Jeff Cobb get comfortable. And Solo can be more of a big deal, because right now when Jacob's on the screen with Solo, we're just like, what the fuck is he doing holding Jacob's fucking dick? Like, that's all he's doing. And so I think this is a hopeful reset here. We break Jacob off. We let him become the fucking superstar that he's meant to be, that we all going to see him dog walk their ass. You know what I mean? Like,
no breaks.
You know what I mean? Like, I love that shit because it's so authentic. He's like, I grew up in the hood. Fuck all you. And I'm just like, yeah, like, that's true. He probably did. And like, I love it. Like, I want him so badly to become world champion because he's just so authentic. Like, there is one fucking person.
He just won the mid-card title. You gotta be patient. But I will say this. So I think these wheels were in motion around Survivor Series time, because I still think like they were projecting probably Fatu and Solo at Mania, but it was Big Bronson Reed. I think that's why they stuck him as a bloodline guy, but obviously got hurt in that War Games match. So who looks like Bronson Reed, who wrestles like Bronson Reed, who's way less charismatic than Bronson Reed, but can do this job? Corn on the cob, Jeffy boy. And that's why it took him this long to get here, but he's here now.
He's not Samoan Joe. So how is he part of the bloodline? Well, there's not really going to be a bloodline anyway, Joseph. There's just Goon Squad over here. That's all he needed. Solo needed a Goon Squad, his mafia, his boys, his faction. They can call him whatever they want. But Jeff Cobb, the Tongans, and Solo look like nobody.
Samoan enough, just like Bronson did. They look Samoan enough.
I'm just saying it works in a way that there's no likable person in there. Like, I mean, real likable breakout person. Fatu was a big fucking breakout star. There's no denying it. So I'm just happy for him because the world's his oyster at this point. But Jeff Cobb is going to be good in the ring, but he's just going to be a serviceable goon. And that's what he needs to be. and it's going to work out fine for everybody involved. So I'm hopeful this is where we're headed and this is where we're going. And God damn it, if we ever get your boy Bronson Reed to come back against Jeff Cobb, JC, I don't know what you're going to do, bud. I'd have no idea what you're going to do with that meat match.
I mean, it's like Earthquake and Typhoon, but they're actually really good at wrestling. And the thing about the one thing I do like about Jeff Cobb is he is a meat man you can put against Jacob. So that's exciting too, because we love meat on this program.
Would you like to get hopeful?
Yeah, I have a hope, kind of, and it's kind of weird because it kind of go against everything I stand for. But Nestlemania, did you see who became the #1 contender for the NXT Championship last week?
Yes,
Miles Bourne out of nowhere. And you know what? We haven't had something like this in a long time. Because WWE does this sometimes and they tease it, but they don't do it. But never for the main title. But it was one of those things when I was thinking, I was like, man, we've done Trick and Javon a lot. There's been a lot of fatigue with the main event of NXT. So it's like, if there ever was a time to do this, it was now. And Miles Bourne, when I was seeing that promo backstage, I was like, they're doing something with him. And I'm thinking, maybe they'll start pushing him in the mid card, something like that. No, he fucking wins the Battle Royal, and he's the #1 contender to face Obat, whatever their thing is, which I don't know when it is. Another month maybe, but why don't we just do it, Nestlemania? We've come this far. Miles Bourne is clearly good in the ring. Yeah, he looks like Randy Orton. He doesn't sound like Randy Orton, but he looks like Randy Orton.
How dare you?
Do we just have Miles Bourne win the title? Even if it's for like one night and then Oba wins it back on Tuesday, just like an upset, like of the century, like type, like fluky, like shocking moment. Like you've done one shocking moment with him and I weirdly dug it. And I'm the biggest Oba guy in the world, but maybe Charlie tries to cost Miles and actually helps Miles. I don't know, because there's clearly a little ascension there, a little jealousy, but yeah, fuck it. Hashtag JC knows. Hashtag JC hopes come true. Miles Bourne, NXT champion, ?
The fact that you even brought that up is alarming to me.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Wellness check? You all right?
Hey, you know what, Nestlemania? Sometimes I like to be sports entertainingly surprised.
Listen, I still think we're getting Javon as the leader of Dark State. So it's
Javon. So I can't picture him being a heel.
I know, but I feel like they'd pull a swerve on that one and be like, hey, he's part of Dark State. And be like, well, that's a fucking
Trick's the one who's a heel, so.
Yeah, well. Trick's too busy with say his name and he'll appear, so it's fine.
Yeah, which is actually kind of exciting too. That's another hope, is I wouldn't mind seeing Trick win that title and doing a little time as TNA World Champion, because we really haven't had somebody with, you know what I mean? So I think that'd be cool.
Are you saying you haven't had somebody of value go on TNA programming? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I was saying we haven't seen someone actually win. Like we've seen TNA people come over here and challenge, but they haven't won. And I don't think any NXT people have won over there. So
I don't know.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind seeing this Trick be the first one, especially if like they feel like he needs a little more before they call him up or whenever they do this draft. Like, give him a quick run with the TNA World Title as a heel. Let him try it over there, because he's already. I feel like with the NXT title, it's like we've already seen enough with Oba. It's time to move on from that. So I think this is a nice little stopgap until we call him up.
All right. Comeback time?
Come back. Don't call it comeback. Dan it. I mean, this is an easy one. It's Alexa Bliss. They finally brought her back. Her and Zelina, the two little pocket queens. They're so small and put them in your pocket. I fucking love both of them. This is a great combo. They're studs. They pick up the win. But this is a great mystery partner. I loved it. I love them working together. They're both studs and they're great. And we love them. The crowd loves them. We all love them because they're great. So they get Alexa Bliss is my comeback.
Was it my original thought here or am I wrong? Did they change her music?
It is adjusted a little because copyright issues.
It fucking sounded terrible to me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as good. But that's like every song.
It's literally, here's my thing. It's literally one of the best songs in WWE.
It was.
And Cody Rhodes went somewhere on an interview. He's like, I play that song at least once a day when I'm in my gym.
It's a fucking fantastic song.
It's a banger. Like, pay the fucking rights, royalties, just fucking keep it. Why do we need to keep doing this? Why? Like it's unreal. Like we are scarce in theme songs that will last, let alone theme songs that fucking match the person that's coming out. Why are we continuing to do this? It's really painful.
I mean, because they have a shitty contract. So
like, it's like they don't fucking care.
I mean, I think they care. They're just stuck. They're stuck in a shitty contract. It's unfortunate, and we're all paying for it because we're slowly getting all the great songs torn away from us. But yeah, no, it's a pretty shitty remix.
I just don't understand. Like, Here's the thing. You have all this money. You're making all this fucking money. You can't figure out something.
Yeah, but you're a business. You don't just have unnecessary expenses when it's one of those things that isn't going to affect anything, except for a couple of us dorks are going to cry about it online. We'll get over it like we always do. It's unfortunate. It sucks, but it is. That's the nature of the business, man. Dollars and cents. Emphasis on the dollars, because cents ain't worth much, especially in America here anymore.
Can't wait for UFC to have those terrible fucking song walkouts now too. Apparently.
Oh yeah, I know. Isn't that frustrating? Because they've always been able to just use popular music.
Yeah,
do it. It's always been that way with fights. You do whatever the fuck you want. So, not anymore.
Such a weird thing. My comeback is going to Ludwig Kaiser. I thought he was fucking gone. Watching him in that promo, I was like, hey, they're going to do something with him. And then they fucking just totally didn't do something with him. And I'm like, oh, man, now I want to see him do more. So I'm excited. I'm a very, very, very big fan of Ludwig Kaiser. I think this might be his year in terms of like getting some traction at least.
I hope so, baby. Give him that IC title. Let's go.
If there ever was a time, like in the fall, I think it's Kaiser season.
After Dom wins Money in the Bank, cashes and becomes world champion.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Of course. Great. Wonderful.
It's going to happen someday. Not this year, but it's going to happen.
Ludwig Kaiser is a big fucking deal. So I just think over time, he'll figure it out. And when I saw him on the screen, I was like, yeah, let's fucking go. So I'm happy to see him. Hopefully something happens here. And, he's a good looking man.
I would argue he has it figured out and he's married to a rocket ship, or they're dating. I don't think they're married, but he's a stud and he deserves the world and he deserves it all.
He's not going to drown. That's for sure.
No.
Let that sink in. Anyway, let's get to the big, and I mean big, finish, ladies and gentlemen. Where do you want to start?
Well, we'll start with SmackDown. Oh, wait, I don't know any matches, but I believe they said Money in the Bank qualifiers will begin on SmackDown. We also will have some of those on Raw, but we do have matches on Raw and Nestlemania. We have Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker, because why not do that at 15th time? We have AJ and Penta versus Balor and JD. That'll be a lot of fun. And then we have, I can't wait for this one, Sheamus and Grayson Waller. That'll be banger.
I mean, Sheamus and Grayson Waller will be a lot of fun. I don't expect it to be very long, but
that's what she said.
Boy's just going to eat it, but oh well.
He's going to sell his ass off on that bro kick.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they did promote something on SmackDown. I'm trying to find it because was
like... it's one of those things, like when I watched it, I might not have written it down and I was too lazy to go back and look, but yeah, that's a chance. There's always a chance in WrestleMania.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
I think I said on Raw, I think the Money in the Bank qualifiers, I think SmackDown's going to kick them off. So those will be interesting because Money in the Bank that's not till July, right? So,
oh God, I hope not.
I think it is because it's usually around like the fourth weekend. Because I haven't.
No, I think it's in June.
Oh, it's the end of June. Yeah, I'm not home for that weekend either. So I feel like the last couple of years I've missed it live, and it's so frustrating.
Here we go. We've got Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker on Monday.
Yep, said that.
Okay.
I just read you Raw. I need SmackDown.
Okay.
Bro.
Oh, SmackDown. Okay, sorry. Okay,
it's okay. Fine. You're forgiven.
Okay. I'm making sure I'm looking through what they had. That's all. I
don't remember them saying anything. Maybe they did and I missed it, but.
Maybe not. I don't know. Raw's a better show anyway, so it's perfectly fine.
Sometimes.
Anywho,
I think you're right.
Anywho, we should probably get over anything else you want to get over to
your stupid AEW bullshit because I don't think we have any predictions this week. So,
all right, folks, we heard people. MJF is gonna get his thumbs up from Bobby. Maybe not. We'll see what happens here. That's a big deal.
Still the best thing in AEW right now.
It is. Nick Wayne keeps getting TV time. I don't understand this, but that's fine.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not ready for prime time television.
For me at all. Like,
no,
literally at all.
Nick Wayne's mom.
Got it going on.
AEW Steel Cage World Title match. Mox versus Samoa Joe. Couldn't care less.
Oh, that's this week. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that.
Zach Gowen's coming back again. I guess it seems to be against Ricochet. That's fun.
I did see that. That's interesting.
We're having a Tony Storm elimination or title. Oof. You guys can do better on your graphics. Eliminator 4-way for the AEW Women's Championship. We've got Timeless Tony Storm, Mina, Sky Blue's return here, and AZM. I mean,
you say Sky Blue's returning?
Yes.
JC can get behind that.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. We have the Don Callis family taking on Hangman Adam Page and the Will Ospreay.
Do we know which two of the Don Callis family? There's like 15 of them.
It's probably Takeshi. I gotta keep looking. Oh, I'm sorry. It's I just saw it. Why do they do this? They do this stupid thing to me. I'm trying. Oh, it's Takeshita and Josh Alexander. Man, that guy couldn't be less. Guy couldn't find charisma.
How does that guy be around Ethan Page for so long and not get any of that rubbed off on him?
I don't know. It's just too much. I'm gonna quit there because if I keep going, it's just gonna sound worse. So
no,
there
keep
it
going.
is.
I want it to sound worse.
No, I don't even think they have anything.
Well, this is like they're promoting this as like a big show called Beach Break, and they're doing it in Chicago, which is a fucking lake.
Oh,
fucking company.
I think that's pretty much everything they're willing to at least put out. So,
and we have no predictions, right? Cyanide in 2 weeks, and then AEW's in 2 weeks. NXT's in like 2 weeks. I don't know. They're all 2 or 3 weeks.
All I'm saying, folks, is that AEW needs to get their shit together. They're doing incrementally better. They're going to little locations, which I actually love when little locations are happening. It just has some type of like je ne sais quoi that I'm not necessarily.
They can't sell tickets at the big location.
But I love looking at that. Like I always, here's the thing, as an independent person, like as a person that works on the independents and like sees things, when I get, and Todd always gives me shit for this, but when I see a fucking room that has a balcony, I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like, I want to work a room that has a balcony. I just think it's fucking cool.
It does look cool for wrestling. That kind of stuff does look cool for wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, Chris Sanders. Thanks, Chris, for showing up. He's got a great program himself.
That's a Nestle burner account. Chris, I'm sorry, you're not a real person.
Chris is a
real
real
If you think Adam Nestle rules.
Chris
is Adam Nestle rules.
To be fair, Chris.
I'm sure Chris is great, but did you brainwash him?
No, but Chris has a great podcast where he interviews a lot of wrestlers and a lot of other people who do a lot of fantastic stuff. So Best for Business, nice. I think is what it's called. He's a very good kid and does a lot of great stuff. But yes, don't ever take anything these guys say, Chris, because I'm a good person, I swear.
He's a person.
I'm a person. Anyway, listen, we know you're distracted for your stupid golf fucking draft.
Yeah, I started doing a PGA draft. I almost asked you who I should pick, but then
did you pick Ricky?
No, my team currently is Aberg, Rom, Reed, Batia, and Davis Thompson.
I like 3 out of those so far.
You probably don't even know who some of them are.
They like Rom.
You know who Batia is, right?
Yeah.
The super skinny Indian kid.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Lefty. And Davis Thompson's a young stud as well.
I've not watched enough golf in my old age. I probably should watch more, but I don't have enough time. That's what happens when you have kids. Anyway, anything else, or would you like to get the fuck out of here?
We can probably get out of here because we have nothing to predict, and I'm ready to go watch some NXT in a few minutes.
All right. Well, thanks for listening and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next week with some more Jobber Knockery.